to the Canadian SME Podcast, a podcast for Canadian small and medium businesses. In our podcast, we interview Canadian experts and entrepreneurs to give small business owners access to expert knowledge that helps them grow their enterprise. Our mission is to empower Canadian small and medium enterprises and help them reach a bigger audience through our platform. We would like to thank our banking partner RBC, shipping partner UPS, and accounting software partner Xero for supporting this initiative. SMEs are leading the charge in terms of digital transformation, capitalizing on hardware and software solutions that promote collaboration. As technology advances rapidly, these tools become increasingly essential for businesses to stay competitive. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are in conversation with Jitan Patel, National Director of Sales at Lenovo. Jitan is an expert in cultivating relationships with a 20-year track record spanning multiple roles, opportunities, and experiences in the technology business. Jitan has held numerous key leadership positions at both Lenovo and IBM. His passion lies in helping his customers achieve successful business outcomes, and that desire marries with Lenovo's mission to lead the world in technology built to enhance the way they do business around the globe, from one-person shops to the giants of the industry. Hi, Jitan. How are you today?
I'm great, Maheen. Thanks for having me here.
Very pleased to have you with us this afternoon. Now, Jitan, the last time we spoke to each other was about, again, Lenovo's solutions for SMEs. But today we're talking about how small business owners can stay ahead in the tech industry, right? Like staying ahead of the technological curve is essential for small business owners, and we all understand that. Now, understanding and planning for future technological developments can really help small businesses stay competitive, which is a key component to long-term profitability.
Of course.
Jitan, how have you seen technology evolving to meet the needs of modern SMEs? And what do you think is the future of technology for small businesses?
Wow. Well, that question is very timely. As you mentioned earlier, I've been in the industry for well over 20 years. And I've seen a change in the industry more than ever in the last 3 years. Obviously, that was brought in by the pandemic, and our world's all changed. I'd answer this with not just SME customers that work with us, large enterprise, public sector. I think the entire working industry was turned upside down. And this created a lot of people from working from home. Technology had to shift, and it had to shift at a great momentum in order to support all those people that now are working in environments they'd never worked for before. We're coming out of that change now. And people had set up, their work environments, the way they work for a better part of 2 years now. Well, now it's time to come back to the office. And there's a shift now happening, is that employees have become used to working in a certain way, and they need to be magnetized back to coming back to the office. And their expectations of how that's working within their offices, it should work like it works at home. Everything just works. My screen works, my computer works, my sound works. These things are expectations now of employees that are coming back into the office. The reasons for people coming back to the office is also different now, right? A lot of the work can be done at home. We've proven that over the last 3 years. But the element that was missing in the last 3 years was human connection, right? It's the conversation when you're walking to grab a coffee. It's the conversation when you're printing something and, hey, Jitan, is there something here you can help me with, right? Those interactions don't happen as often in the digital space. So bringing people back to collaborate with the way they were effective prior to COVID is critical. So you need reasons to bring people back. And that's what we're seeing a shift today in a lot of the organizations we work with. They're enhancing the workspaces that the people have. They're bringing in monitors that make it easier for people to use for their eyes, right? In fact, they're bringing monitors in better than they have at home to create a draw for them to come into the office. They're setting up workstations that are clean and neat, so people feel comfortable in the environments, and they're easy to clean because, let's face it, there's still the elements of COVID that we are all worried about. They also bring in products that allow people to collaborate together, right? The reason to go into the office is what? For us to be able to sit together and have a conversation across the table.
Right.
But we also have to include the people that are probably still at home or probably sitting in Calgary that also need to talk to us. So we need to be able to communicate and collaborate in a different way today, right? The people in the office, whether face-to-face, while including the people that are virtual. And it should be a cohesive ability to be able to be successful and communicate effectively with each other.
Right. No, absolutely. Small businesses are actually taking advantage of the
Hmm.
power that these new and emerging technologies can bring to their operations. Now, Jitan, successful SMEs understand this power of hardware and software that facilitates collaboration, as you just mentioned, and that allows them to really amplify their competitive advantage, right?
Hmm.
Now, what do you think is the main benefit, like apart from the benefits you just listed, what are the main benefits of hardware, software that fosters collaboration? And do you think that this type of technology is important for businesses now?
No, of course. I think the importance of the integration of software and hardware is critical to the success of the experience of the individual that's going to be handling it. Prior to COVID, software really led the charge. Everything moved to the cloud at such a rapid pace. We saw companies developing products like Microsoft with Teams. Zoom came out, which was in heavy, heavy use after COVID was lockdown actually happened. DocuSign started being used in ways and got a market adoption that probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for everyone working from home. And so software really led the charge in a lot of cases there, but hardware needs to follow. Right, all of those tools that I was talking about all run on hardware.
Mm-hmm.
So the demand for hardware was critical during that time, but the amalgamation between the software and the hardware is truly where the best experience arises from. So ensuring that the hardware that you're using within your environments is productive for the employer and whatever they need to be able to do, right? So if you're having developers that are using high-end software applications, right? You need to have the appropriate computer to be able to run that, so the experience for that individual is going to be what they expect. If it goes into the way of collaboration, right? You want to make sure that your collaboration rooms operate well and work consistently and predictably. Right? There's nothing worse than walking into a conference room and we spend the first 15 minutes trying to figure out how the conference tool works. These things need to be more rapid, because the reality is that employees have now come to expect this. Right? You went from a call at 11 o'clock, you jumped on the next call at 11:01, right? There was really no gaps. Everything just started to work. So productivity was really high because, you're moving from conversation to conversation, not worrying about setting things up.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the amalgamation of that software tower and that hardware tower together is really where the success comes in for SMEs.
Absolutely. No, SMEs should be informed of the obstacles that you just listed out. And, that is important to really realize how can they best utilize the technology in order to remain successful. Now, knowing how to navigate these challenges can give SMEs a distinct advantage and pave the way for long-term growth and success. Jitan, what are some of the key challenges that small businesses face regarding tech?
I think one of the biggest challenges that small medium businesses have to really look at and really face has to be around security.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Cybercrime has grown at a tremendous level, and I believe from an organized crime perspective, it's probably the biggest in the world right now. That obviously means that there's money to be taken from people, right? The biggest thing I would suggest to small medium businesses is make sure security is on your forefront of your technology stack.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more probably frustrating or demotivating is that if you actually have a security impact within your organization, because it really shuts everything down. Heaven forbid any important information is leaked. Heaven forbid data is stolen. Heaven forbid someone who's in your environment that shouldn't be in your environment and destroying things that shouldn't be destroying things. So I would really honestly tell SMEs that if they're looking towards technology, security has to be an aspect of that. Mm-hmm. And security impacts everything that's on your network, from a dock to a monitor to a laptop. These crime consortiums are getting more and more intelligent and better, right? So we have to stay one step ahead in front of them to ensure that they don't get what's inside our four walls.
Mm-hmm. And I think gaining this understanding can really help organizations navigate an ever-evolving landscape and maximize their potential. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. went on a break, Jitan discussed some of the security issues associated with small businesses adapting digital technology. Jitan, Lenovo provides ingenious solutions for small businesses to really help overcome obstacles and that can help them thrive globally, right? So Jitan, are there any specific areas where you think Lenovo can really help small businesses overcome the challenges?
I think there's a lot of areas that Lenovo can help in this area. No, just by creating great products, I think is one way that we can help SMEs across the country. I think the other area that we can really truly help is around that security conversation we talked about. It's a daunting conversation. There's a lot out there with respect to security. And, we can come and help consult and talk about it from a perspective of what are other SMEs doing? What are we seeing in the industry?
Mm-hmm.
And these are the standards that we tend to see across the board from an industry perspective. Outside of that too, budgets are tight today.
Yeah.
Right? Budgets are extremely tight. I think everyone's facing the inflation impact that's going on today. Knowing that, you want more predictable purchasing and budgeting that's going on, right? The opportunity for that is TrueScale within our product portfolio, right? How do we do everything as a service from a hardware perspective to a software perspective for organizations like small, medium, and business?
Right.
What does this do for them? What is the benefit for using a program like TrueScale from Lenovo?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's predictable expense streams. It's manageable budget. It allows you to scale your technology needs up and down as necessary.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big advantage for small, medium businesses because let's face it, small, medium businesses can be expanding at a rapid pace, right?
Yeah.
People can be starting 20 people here, 20 people here, 20 people here. That ends up being a big expansion to a small organization. Or times can get tough,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're going to have to go through reductions, right? You need to be able to help manage those expense lines and those budgetary lines while continuing to stay effective and ahead of your competition from a technology landscape.
Right. And that's why we say that let Lenovo be your ally as you expand into the new opportunities. Now, Jitan, small business owners need to be savvy in a lot of the, I think, equipment that you just mentioned. And, they need to identify the right opportunities for key capitalizing on investment that maximizes their value and their efficiency and their growth potential. Now, what advice would you give to small business owners as we wrap up this conversation who are considering investing into new technology?
I think I stressed it earlier, but I want to make it another point today.
Mm-hmm.
Security is critical.
Yeah.
Right. I think you have to look at security as insurance within your environments. And it's one of those things that you need to pay for and you need to keep your company safe.
Right.
Outside of that topic, it's the employee. Right? Companies are made by people, and you want to make those people as productive and efficient as possible. Right? So making sure that they have the right tools, the right environment, a place they want to come to is absolutely critical on that.
Mm-hmm.
So ensuring that, a laptop works when it's supposed to work, right? A monitor works when it's supposed to work. The collaboration tool within your office works as expected.
Yeah.
These little things are missed. But there's no sense of frustration when you're trying to jump on a call and your computer's still taking too long to boot.
Right.
So I'd say keep technology up to date. Ensure you understand what your employees want, and to your best of your ability, because budget always matters,
Mm-hmm.
be able to provide what it is that allows them to be successful in their organization, while over encompassing the security aspect to all of it.
Absolutely. And I believe your advice will really provide a comprehensive understanding of how these advancements will really benefit small businesses, over time. But we're delighted to have you on our podcast, Jitan. Thank you so much for your presence today here and for your time.
Well, look, thank you for having me, and I hope I get to come back soon.
Absolutely. That brings us to the end of another episode full of small business insights. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast, and we encourage listeners everywhere to explore even more on CanadianSME.ca. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, we would like to thank our banking partner RBC, shipping partner UPS, and accounting software partner Xero for making this initiative possible. Please share the podcast and feel free to check out the other episode. Also, do not forget to subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine to stay up to date on all our upcoming events and get the top business insights from industry leaders. This is Maheen, your host for the Small Business Podcast.